All righty. Well, welcome everyone to today's webinar. Discover 7 ways to build a profitable social media service here in 2013. And, for those of you that have been around VA Classroom for a little while, or even if you're new, this topic on social media is kind of, I should say, somewhat our bread and butter, if you want to use that term. But it's something that we're passionate about teaching about. I love to teach about social media. I think I love teaching about it because it's so, what's the word? Evolutionary. It evolves so quickly, and there's so many cool things going on. And although it can be you could be on total overwhelm when you're studying and thinking about social media, it also has so many opportunities for businesses, and specifically, it is a great opportunity right now for all of you who are service providers to up your game in that area or to add this service for the very first time. And we'll be talking a lot about it from that perspective throughout this time today. Okay, so wow, I see a lot more people jumping on. I'm glad we're going to have an active call today. So before I get going, I want to start with a few poll questions just to kind of gauge you and where our audience is at and your experience a little bit. So let's make this a little bit interactive for the next couple of minutes. All right, so this is a quick poll, and I'm going to have probably 2 or 3 questions here. So let's start with the first question, and this is an easy one. How long have you been using social media? So we've been around. Social media has been around since. Well, I guess you probably could argue, blogging came out in the early 2000s if you want to call that social media, but I would say 2005. Maybe would be probably, 2004, 2005, MySpace, Facebook, things like that started to emerge. So yeah, go ahead and put your numbers in there. Are you a longtime user back in 2000? I've only gone back 5+ years. Are you newer to social media, which is great. Don't feel intimidated if this is, you're just diving into this stuff. So you're definitely in the right place. So go ahead and see just a few more people are voting. So we'll just wait for a second. Okay. All right. So the numbers are let me share the results here. So so we have about a quarter of you are, if you want to call it, power social media users or longtime social media users. Another quarter have been using it for a while, and then another quarter just a couple of years, which is, in our end, in this industry, things move so at such a digital fast pace that, you've been through a lot in 2 years if you've been using social media. And then some of you are 8% or 1 year, and then some of you maybe are just new to it as well in the last year. So, okay, just want to kind of gauge where the audience is at. Now, got a second question for you. And this is a simple one. Are you currently offering a social media service? Do you have it as one of your service offerings? And this isn't are you going to be, this is are you. So is this you have a service, a social media service currently? So go ahead and fill that out. Give you just 10 seconds here to do that. And I know we've done a lot of training in social media in the past, and we have a lot of our students have gone on to build almost full-time businesses just in the social media space. So I know a lot of you are doing awesome things already. Okay, so the numbers are rolling in here, and let me just share them with you. It's about a 50-50 split. Okay, so of those 50% that aren't, you may either be here to, you're considering just developing your social media skills further, maybe just to even promote your own business or get more clients, or you're wanting to add this as a service. So you're, again, definitely in the right place. And then half of you, just under half of you, are currently offering this as a service, which is great. Okay, so the third question, my poll, the third and final, and this is just, I don't want to isolate those that aren't offering this as a service, but I wanted to ask a question for those service providers right now. Which social media channel brings you the most business? Okay, so what social media channel brings you the most business? And I could have included like Instagram, which is new, or I could have included, what else am I missing from that list? I could have included LinkedIn as well. And not to say that some of you aren't doing great things in LinkedIn, because it is still a viable service, but I kind of went with some of the heavy hitters. And I also included YouTube because YouTube has made quite a bit of changes in the last year, and it is much more of a social network than it ever has been before. There's a lot more points of engagement that you can have in YouTube, so that's why I included it there as well. All right, go ahead and vote. Go ahead and cast your vote. Give you another second there. Okay. All right, so let me share this poll. Okay, so the results there, as you see, is almost 70% are making your best businesses through Facebook. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It obviously is by far the largest social network out there, and there's none that really compares to it at this point. Although I see that 0% of you are offering services in Pinterest, and that's going to change. That will change because this, Mari Smith had said this is the year of video, and I think last year was the year of video too. But my prediction is this is the year of picture marketing, and that's my term. That's you can use it, you can steal it for free. But yeah, I mean, photo sharing and infographics and text-based photos and little tutorial style photos. I mean, they're so popular right now, and Pinterest is growing at such a meteoric pace that it'll be something. There's lots that you can do with Pinterest, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, as well as I should say its counterpart, but a related one in the picture marketing space, which is Instagram, as many of you know, was bought by Facebook not so long ago. And I'm interested to see that only 3% of you are leveraging YouTube as a service. And as video marketing is so big right now, and it's such a critical service for your clients, any of your clients, especially for those of you that work with speakers, authors, and coaches. I mean, they are looking to build their personal brand using video and using YouTube strategies. So I see that as one that I would recommend, definitely growing that, because it's just becoming that much more popular. But of course, Twitter and Facebook are mainstays, and I can see a lot of you are offering services in that space. All right, there we go. Well, thanks for participating in my little mini poll here. Let's dive into the kind of the heart of what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit first of all, and take you down memory lane. My personal memory lane. The year was 2007. Do you remember where you were, what you were doing in 2007? Were you a VA? Were you working in the corporate world? What were you doing? You don't have to answer that question. It's more rhetorical. But I was just, I had plans. I should say VAClassroom was a distant thought in my mind. I thought about it, but it was way back in the brain cells, whatever many brain cells I have. It was way back there. And it was something that I was tossing around. But I was working on another business. I had client work. I did different things. And I also did quite a bit of writing. And I was a guest or a contributing author to a popular online magazine at the time, which still is, SiteProNews.com. And wrote a number of different articles. And the one that I wrote, and this is going back in November of 2007, and obviously Facebook was live and Twitter was live at that point. Pinterest wasn't around, and obviously YouTube was around, but it was a much different landscape back then. It was like there were all these businesses out there that were kind of taking their toe and they were dipping it in the social media water, so to speak. They're like, okay, is this something that we want to do? Is this at all going to help my business? And so I pitched it to the editor. I said, you guys don't have much content on social media. What do you think about this topic? Is social media marketing really worth your time and effort? And it was I loved writing this article, because at the time I was still trying to convince myself that social media was a good thing. And by the time I'd finished my research and I had published this, I think it was like a 2,000-word article that the editor really liked, I thought, you know what? I think it is really worth it. And I actually cut a clip from you here of that article I wrote. Now, what is that going back? Goodness, is that 6 years? No, 5 years. Just over 5 years. Wow, I'm getting old. Okay, so this is an excerpt from my SiteProNews article in November of 2007. And this was just towards the end. I said, so back to our question we started with. This was at the end of the article. Is social media marketing a worthwhile investment of your time and marketing budget? My answer is an emphatic yes. In this new web where user-generated content and collaboration reign supreme, businesses have a prime opportunity to connect with a highly targeted audience in a cost-effective manner. Social media marketing, much like SEO, doesn't necessarily yield a fast return on investment, but has great potential for increasing search listings and expanding targeted exposure over the long term. So consider me a social media prophet. Heck, some of the even social media gurus weren't even around at that time that are the gurus now. But in saying that, yeah, back then I had recognized through the research that I did that this was going to be big. And obviously, this led us to do things with VAClassroom and to launch a whole bunch of social media training, which really obviously had a huge impact on our business and obviously on many of our students that took it as well. So as I look at that, I just show you that because so much has changed, and yet everyone was just dipping their toe in back then. And it was, I come to this realization that this is going to be big. And wow, look at us now. We're in the early part of 2013, and social media marketing has to be a part of every marketing plan out there right now. Whether you're a big brand or a small brand, you have to be using social media. And so it's amazing to see how much of a mainstream marketing channel it's become now. All right. Okay, so this is a report or an excerpt from the report. This is from not SiteProNews. What's it? The annual report through Social Media Explorer. I was losing the name there. And they came out with this annual report, and this is the statistics kind of mid-2012. So they haven't come out with their 2013 edition yet. But you'll see here, it says, basically that as of 2012, there was 30% of the people that they polled, like 3,300 people, that were now outsourcing social media services. So they were obviously seeing big value in it, recognizing they couldn't do it in-house, and were outsourcing it. And you'll see from 2010 how much it's jumped. It's already doubled. So 2010 up to 2012, we've gone to it's doubled the amount of people that are outsourcing. And I believe, this is my bold prediction, that by 2014, it's going to be 50-60% of that. One out of every two businesses are going to be having a social media VA or consultant or strategist or whatever you want to call yourself or that person, helping provide services for them. So is this a huge area and a great area to build a business around? For sure. Some people have said, well, is it getting saturated? Well, if you look at the exponential growth in the number of local businesses, online businesses that are starting to leverage social media, the playing field or the sea of opportunities is vast. And so, no, it's anywhere but. I mean, trying to find someone that is effective at social media, I think companies have a hard time. So you all can certainly lead the charge, and it can really help your business a lot. So the statistics, I'm not going to make this a boring, statistical webinar, but they do tell us something, that the growth continues to be there. So why social media outsourcing? So why do businesses, why are they doing it in increasing numbers? Well, a few different things. Social media, we go back to what it was like in 2007 when I wrote that article. It's much more sophisticated now. It's just, there's more tools. The technology is more sophisticated. I mean, back, Facebook was pretty archaic back when we were first involved with it. Now, I mean, it's got all sorts of integrated technology, such as the switch to iframes, a year or so ago, where you can now feed all your web pages right into Facebook. And I mean, this sophisticated edge rank algorithm that Facebook has. I mean, it's much more sophisticated, and I think it's harder for entrepreneurs to get their head around, how do I manage this, this growing beast, so to speak. And then there's more viable social media platforms. When we started back in 2007, there were two. I mean, I guess MySpace was on the radar at that point. It's certainly not anymore. But you had Facebook and you had Twitter and YouTube. But YouTube was definitely not what I'd classify as a social network back then. And so there wasn't as many, platforms to leverage. But now, I mean, we've got Pinterest, we've got Instagram, we've got Google+, we've got LinkedIn, and these are viable, quality social media platforms. And so they need support. And then obviously businesses are realizing it's more cost effective than any other type of advertising, print advertising, online media sales. It's just, the return on investment, the ability to build community. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but it's a much more cost effective advertising channel. And that's obviously why companies and businesses, small and medium and large, are investing dollars. in hiring people to do this work for them. And it's, for lack of a better term, it's an entrepreneur's time suck. It's a terrible term, but it clearly identifies the problem that many entrepreneurs have. They get invested in social media and they get lost in it, and they spend time on it, and it takes them away from some of the core business tasks that they really want to focus on. And so yeah, they want freedom from all their social media responsibilities. Even if they have good knowledge and skills in it, their time is being taken from things that are helping them to really scale their business. Okay, so those are a few reasons why social media outsourcing is growing and why it will continue to grow through the next couple of years as well. Okay, so there is the report through Social Media Explorer, or sorry, I call them Explorer, Social Media Examiner. There we go, got the right term. And then we thought we would do our own internal survey to see what services, and I did this in the end of December, some of you might have participated in this, just to see what services are most popular for you right now. What is the one that's generating you the most income, or you're getting the most requests for? And so have a look at this. You'll see, the print's a little bit small here, but you'll see that there's social media management and general administration. Social media management is the biggest, just a little bit past general administration. But the interesting trend here is that if you look at the VA space, and many of you have been VAs, some of you have been VAs for quite a while, general administration type duties, that was kind of the flagship service of a VA, going back years ago. That was it. That's what people would identify as a virtual assistant. Now, let me tell you, that has been blown out of the water with the amount of specialized skills that you all have and the niches that you've drawn yourself, you've fallen into or pursued. And so now it's a totally different landscape, but general administration is still a strong platform, and it's heavily outsourced. But it's interesting to see that social media management, based on our data, has passed it. And so that's a good indicator that the type of work that VAs are doing has shifted. And you can see in between, virtual events is popular, WordPress sites are popular, internet marketing support is popular. All of that, it's evolving, but none like social media management. It's the big kahuna. So I talked a bit about this. If you watch that video on that page that I'd set up to kind of introduce this webinar, I talked about, and you might have seen my video in my kids' playroom, where I was using building blocks to illustrate a point. And it was this point that social media marketing is now become, and you can see it based on the data that I just showed you, it's now become a cornerstone. It's a flagship service that a lot of your other services, I said all there, but maybe I should use the term a lot. Maybe your general administrative services don't build upon it, but a lot of your other services do build upon it. So it's like foundational to a lot of your success now to have those skills. And so, and to give an example and kind of what we talked about in that video, just to recap, if social media marketing is kind of your foundation layer at the bottom, these are the types of services that build upon it. We talked about book marketing. Social media, the integration of social media into a book marketing campaign is absolutely essential. I mean, people are giving away chapters of their book within a Facebook page. They're using book blogs to build buzz for their upcoming book launch. So social media is a driving force with book marketing. Membership site creation. We're now seeing a lot of memberships flow into Facebook, in Facebook groups and other types of groups that are, within the context of social networking. So it's not just about knowing how to set up a WordPress wish list membership site. It's about how do you integrate social media into that as well. Graphic design. Some of you are graphic designers. Well, as my early prediction said, this is the year of picture marketing. So if you're a graphic designer and you want to add to your service, well, social media marketing is a no-brainer because of the amount of quick designs that entrepreneurs and businesses need so that they can power their Pinterest boards or pin boards or through photo sharing through Facebook and things like that. So, or Twitter. So graphic design and social media are complementary. Search engine optimization. We talked in that video about how, due to some of the changes in the Google algorithm, they now have, social media sharing carries a lot of weight in the search listings. And so now search engine optimization and social media are fully married at this point. And then WordPress design, obviously, you could design a WordPress blog, but you want to fully integrate it with all these cool plugins. Just in Pinterest alone, there's some awesome plugins to make your blog Pinterest friendly. And so there's a lot of different services, and this is just a sampling of the different types of services that build upon your existing foundational social media skills. All right. Whoops, let me just go back here. Okay, so this is basically, if you were to look at a well-rounded platform of one of your clients or even yourself, this is what it would look like. Okay, and I didn't include, probably honorable mentions would go to Instagram, but we're not going to talk as much about Instagram today, but it's certainly in the mix as well, and it's growing very fast. But you've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and Google+. And yes, Google+, a lot of people have been kind of ignoring Google+ for a long time, thinking it's just for techie people. But let me tell you, they've made some really cool changes, even with their Google communities, which is kind of replacing their Google groups. And just the Google Hangout feature is really cool. The ability to categorize with Google Circles. There's a lot of really awesome features that they put in place. So it's going to continue to grow. And since it's Google, I mean, you want to be in there because there's a potential that you're going to get listed in the search engine. So just giving more visibility to you. So your WordPress blog, we talked about the WordPress blog being your hub. It's the cornerstone. It's the center of your social media platform. It's the center of your content creation, and it all fans out and it's shared and back and forth through these different, I should have had arrows going back and forth, but through all these different platforms. And that doesn't change. I would have been teaching this years ago, same sort of model, but the tools and the platforms change. Pinterest wasn't a player 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. Now it's one of the best sources for generating traffic to your website from a social media platform. So these are some of the different platforms that you certainly would include as a part of your service. So being able to set up WordPress blogs or manage a person's WordPress blog is hugely complementary to helping them scale up and grow their social media platform. All right, so I'm at a Pinterest page here, and I never used to like statistics so much until infographics came on the scene, and I love looking at these infographics. Maybe it's because I'm just visual, and that's how I learn, and so I could just wow you with all these cool social media statistics. But now I just say, and I will show a few, I will throw a few at you today. But now I'd say, if you want to get some awesome social media statistics, just go to Pinterest. Don't Google anymore. Just go social media stats, and you'll get like really current statistics. So if you're doing a local, or if you're doing a presentation or seminar and you need stats to kind of build up your presentation, go to Pinterest. We wouldn't have said that a year ago. Obviously, Pinterest has risen and grown in great popularity. All right, so just a comment here. This is something you probably know, and your clients don't know. But let me read this twice, because the first time it may not make sense. It's kind of counterintuitive. Your clients don't know what they need until they know what they need. Okay, so your clients don't know what they need until they know what they need, and this really rings true when it comes to social media. Clients think, well, I need a Facebook page, or I should start getting some videos up in YouTube, or things like that. So they may, it's fully on their radar now. They fully recognize they need to be involved with social media, and some are probably doing it, and some are doing it marginally well, and some are not doing it well at all. But one thing that's often missed, and this is something when they say that they don't know that they need until you actually let them know, is, let me flip to the next page here. Is the golden rule of the social media service provider: strategy first, implementation second. And I've been talking about this for a lot of years, but this still rings true. And often the first step is missed by the entrepreneur, or the coach or the author, that they want to get right into the implementation, and they want to hire you to do the implementation, but it's built on a shaky foundation. In other words, there's no strategy, there's no real framework for there's no clear-cut goals or anything like that. So as you being a service provider, you're a strategist and you're an implementer. And some of you I know some have positioned themselves more as a coach and a trainer and a strategist, and there's others that like to do more of the implementation. But it's important to be a well-rounded provider of social media services. You want to be able to offer both pieces to your clients, because you could set up a Facebook page for them, but it's not going to thrive and be successful unless they have that framework, unless they've got the proper strategy in place. Okay, so very, very important. So they don't always know what they don't know that they need strategy, or maybe they just haven't thought about it. And it's the same here when we look at this platform. This is a multi-platform strategy. So obviously you've got your larger strategy on how am I going to build my brand, my business, to get more clients, whatever my goals are, using my blog and my social media presence. So what does it look like on a macro level? And then you drill down and you look at a micro level. What's my Facebook strategy, my LinkedIn game plan, and my Twitter focus, and my YouTube marketing strategies, and how does that fit with my bigger plan, my macro strategy, or my bigger plan? So that all has to be fleshed out with your clients, especially for those that are just starting out, that saying, I want a platform. I want a platform to share my message. I know social media is where it's at. Help me. Where do I begin? And that's where you start with a lot of clients. Or they may be further along and you have to pull them back to the starter line and saying, wait a sec, we gotta let's course correct here. Let's get back to the starting place and let's get a good strategy in place so you can rock it out in social media and do really well. Okay, so let's talk about a few of these awesome platforms. And a couple of quick statistics here on Twitter. It's the #1 most responsive social network on the planet. In other words, it's so engaging. It's so responsive. I mean, I could put out a survey very quickly and get tons of feedback. It's incredibly responsive. You see people, people in the news space that are looking for news articles. They do this all the time with their audience. They're thinking about writing an article about this, but want to get some topic ideas. Boom. If they've got a good following, they've got a ton of ideas that they can maybe turn into an article. Currently there's about 500 million Twitter users. Of course, only 40% of those around are what we call active users. There's 175 million tweets sent daily, which is phenomenal. 56% of customer tweets are ignored daily. And I want to include that because that's showing that a lot of your clients, or a lot of potential clients, are not using Twitter very well. They're missing out on things that their customers are saying. But if they had someone like you that was helping manage their Twitter platform, balls wouldn't get dropped, and customers would be well taken care of, and direct messages would be responded to, and their reputation would stay strong. And so I thought that was an interesting statistic, that 56% are being ignored. And so there's people's reputation that are diminishing in the social networks because of their unresponsiveness. And so Mari Smith, met Mari Smith, was at a conference with her not so long ago. A great lady. She's also a fellow Canadian and a Scot. I'm same ancestry as she does. And she's built out an awesome Twitter platform for herself. And I see that she's gone away. She used to be like the turquoise queen with her colors. She's now moving into like some sort of green thing. She's switched things up a little bit. She's rebranded her colors. But nonetheless, she's built a thriving Twitter platform. And while your clients may never get to the place that Mari Smith is at, you can help them to create a platform that really shines a spotlight on their brand. And what I want to do and this is really quick, and we're covering this on a very high level, like kind of a 20,000 foot overview. We definitely will be we could definitely dive more into it at another time. But I'm going to give you some little simple checklists for each of these platforms that you can sketch down, and I'll have this handout for you. You can, that I'll send to you after, but you can sketch these down as well. So if I was working with a new client for the first time, these are some of the few things that I might do with them. Define their or your Twitter brand and strategy. So are you using your own name, your personal name? What is your focus? Who's your audience? So this is the coaching piece that you're educating your clients on those building block components they need to build a great Twitter platform. So, designing and creating a relevant and interesting profile, kind of like you saw with Mari Smith, from, obviously the graphic design piece, but also designing a great profile. Like, who are you? What is your person? What makes you tick? What are you passionate about? And how can you bring that into a profile? Setting up your social media dashboard. Hootsuite is the one we use at VAClassroom. I think it's the best one out there. There's TweetDeck, there's Seismic, there's other ones as well, but I think it's still one of the most popular ones. So helping your client have a dashboard that they can syndicate their content through. Building a targeted following using a Twitter keyword tool, which is an awesome tool for finding the right kind of people for your clients, as well as third-party tools like Twello. Just continues to get better and better, and there's a number of other key ones as well that we don't have time to dive into today. But yeah, building up the following. Start following a whole bunch of people that based on keywords. And then another task: reviewing and vet followers, and making sure you're following back the right audience. So you're building up this targeted audience. And there's lots of not controversy. Some people follow everybody, and other people like to be a little bit more selective in who they're following back. But definitely being in place there to make sure your client is building a quality platform, not a watered down one that really is missing out on their target audience. Okay, and then build a Twitter communication schedule. There's tools out there that you can use that will show you peak times and the best time to be scheduling out your Twitter posts. So that you're getting your maximum engagement, and people are seeing it more and more. And so building that content and communication schedule, and then curating, so finding and sharing interesting content that your audience would want. I mean, that's an ongoing task of any platform, but specifically Twitter as well. And then tracking and managing your Twitter activity to identify sticky tweets. So you've got to be very in tune with what tweets are getting retweeted and what is what seems to be the most responsive content that you're putting out there. You might start to track trends or themes or things like that. So this is just scratching the surface of some of the checklists that you could put forth for building a Twitter platform. So I'm going to move through these fairly quickly due to time. The second one obviously is Facebook, and Facebook obviously eclipsed 1 billion Facebook users not so long ago, and continues to grow exponentially. It has, which would be more of an interest to you, it has 42 million Facebook pages, which is a phenomenal amount, which obviously not all of them are active pages and not all of them are your target client, but a lot of them are. There's a lot out there. So certainly, there's a lot of people that need support and help with their Facebook pages. 23% of Facebook users log on 5 or more times a day. Massive retention of Facebook users. They're massively engaged with their friends and their profile and their pages. 250 million photos are uploaded daily. I thought this was phenomenal. That's why I go back to it's the year of picture marketing, because businesses are now strategically using it. They're teaching through their photos. They're inspiring through their photos. They're providing informative data through photos and through infographics. And then this was an interesting stat. 77% of business to consumer companies acquired customers from Facebook. So that shows you that a lot of your prospective clients have already drank the Facebook Kool-Aid, so to speak. I mean, they recognize that there is money to be made, and they can find clients and they can add customers through what they do in Facebook. And so those kind of statistics are pretty compelling reasons why more and more businesses will need Facebook and also need your Facebook services. All right, so Michael Hyde is a guy I follow. This is a great book if you haven't read it, Platform. We read that over the holidays. And he is an author and a coach, and this is kind of many of your ideal clients. Obviously he's built up a platform for himself in Facebook, which is pretty cool. And so a few things that you would do, and this is this is just giving you some of the high points. I mean, we can drill way deeper than what we are right now. But first thing when you're working with a client is you want to distinguish their Facebook profile and page strategy, and possibly their group strategy if they have groups as well. It's really important to figure out, how is my strategy going to differentiate between the posts that I do on my profile and the posts that I do on my page. This is an age-old discussion as people try to separate the personal from the professional, the business from the the friendly, and the personal brand from the business brand. And some are so intertwined that you're using both in a complementary fashion. And so when you're working with a client, you want to see where they're at. Do they want something that's going to be jointly connected? And obviously you can't get real promotional with your business on your Facebook profile, but can you build up your credibility? Can you build up your authority within your Facebook profile and leading people to your page? So again, every client's going to be a bit different, but that's something you got to nail down, because they're going to be confused on, what do I do? Am I, what I do with my Facebook profile? I'm connected to my this friend and that friend, and I've got these business friends, and so you have to do that audit right off the bat. And then creating and updating their timeline design, maybe for their profile, but specifically for their page. And I said update because a lot of entrepreneurs are saying, listen, let's keep it fresh. Let's constantly roll in new photos that are engaging. And this could be an ongoing task if you were a graphic designer or if you were working with a graphic designer. Set up and organize targeted lists for following industry-specific people. Obviously, Facebook introduced this partly, I think, to compete with Google Circles, because Google Circles it rocks. Like, it's really good in terms of organizing, channels of people, and Facebook lists came about to kind of accommodate that need as well. And you could certainly organize that so that you can, just better stay on track with the different types of audiences you're reaching within Facebook. And then building Facebook apps for your page that align with your strategy. There's no shortage of awesome apps you can use, custom apps you can create. It can be technical depending on what you're creating, especially once you get into the iframe space, but there's a lot of other third-party apps that are making it easier and easier. But certainly this is something that your clients are going to want you to mix up. They're not going to have a set of Facebook apps that are going to last for a year. It's going to be like, okay, we're offering a free chapter of my book. That's one of my Facebook apps. What are we doing next? Is it going to be a contest? Is it going to be a free giveaway? Is it going to be a freebie video, or whatever that might be? Building a Facebook content plan and schedule. So this could be, scheduling out 1 to 2 posts a day, and working out a calendar, an editorial calendar with your clients. Tracking Facebook insights to identify the most engaging posts. Obviously, you piggyback on that and create content based on those most popular posts that you've shared. And then set up Facebook ads campaigns to drive traffic to specific Facebook apps that are on your page. And you see a lot of entrepreneurs now really building up their list. They're generating a lot of leads, and they're needing support in putting what we call squeeze pages or landing pages right within their Facebook page, so they can drive traffic from Facebook ads. Okay? And then create a plan to strategically use Facebook promoted posts. All right, so that's another cool tool that Facebook has come out with not so long ago, where if you want to work with your client and say, what posts this month do we want to give more bandwidth to? We want more people to see, and we're going to get it promoted for $15. And it's going to go to all of our fans, and we're going to get much more traction on the news feed. Okay, so things to think about as well. So that's Facebook. And then LinkedIn, again, it's the #1 professional social network. They're currently, as of December of 2012, there's 200+ million users. And LinkedIn has really evolved, and it's really improved a lot. I love how you can endorse people now. You can endorse their skills. I'm getting lots of endorsements every day, which really boosts my confidence. And then there's 1 million plus groups. So using targeted groups to reach out to a targeted audience is a great strategy. And then the company pages, which has come out, in the last year or so, where you've got 2.6 million pages, and they're growing. And certainly a part of setting up your client's LinkedIn platform is certainly creating a page. So you've got your profile, like mine there. You can see some of the people that are endorsing me as well. Certainly setting up a well-rounded profile, and then obviously complementary to that is the company page, because you could really then set up all your clients' products there as well, and that just becomes a great promotional strategy for your clients right within LinkedIn. So in terms of building a LinkedIn platform, obviously creating your LinkedIn profile and page strategy, so you can identify the type of content you're going to put on your profile versus the type of content that you're going to throw on your page, and they will differ. Profile is really building up you and your authority and your personal brand. The page is building up your company and what you offer and what people are recommending your products, things like that. So obviously building a keyword targeted profile so you can be found when people search for keywords within LinkedIn. Setting up your company page, as we talked about, sending out targeted invites to new connections. This is a really good strategy for making sure that you're aligning yourself with the right kind of people within LinkedIn. And then connecting with your fans and those people that love your company and seek recommendations from them for both your profile and your product. So you can build that up, and that just kind of raises your stock value within LinkedIn as well. And then building a content plan that you can obviously use through a social media dashboard like Hootsuite to kind of simplify your life in a big way. And then we talked about groups, setting up, joining, and participating in targeted relevant groups. You could be the moderator or you could just be a participant. But by joining targeted groups, that's a great, I know some of our students have used that as a great strategy for getting clients. By going in there, being helpful, getting connected to them, and recognizing needs that they have and seeing them quickly become clients. Okay, great strategy. And then some will go in and they'll answer those relevant, LinkedIn has that questions feature where they'll post questions and you can answer. And if they like the answer, they can star it, and that makes you kind of this expert status. So by going to that, that also kind of raises your credibility within LinkedIn. All right, so moving along, as I said, 2013, I believe, is the year of picture marketing, as we see the exponential growth of I think 100 million users of Instagram, and Pinterest growing at exponential rates. We're not going to talk as much about Instagram for time purposes, but Pinterest definitely was the social networking rising star of 2012. It currently has 27 million users. And this is the really interesting thing that you want to make note of. And this is why many of your clients are going to be gravitating towards Pinterest here in 2013, because 47% of online consumers have made a purchase from a Pinterest recommendation. So what this says is Pinterest has a savvy buying audience. And where do you want to be hanging out if you're a business owner and Pinterest makes sense for your business? Is definitely this social network. And before, it seemed like more of an artsy kind of social network, for cooking and fitness and art and different things, all sorts of clothing, different things like that. And it's huge for that, certainly, areas like fashion. But businesses are now using it to use infographics and tip style photos and things like that to really showcase their brand, and they're feeding their blog into it. So all the pictures in their blog posts are now showing up in Pinterest. And they're making video boards in there so that all their videos, there's kind of like a video gallery right within Pinterest. So yeah, it's changing from just a kind of artsy sort of fashion, highly female, obviously, audience. It was like a year ago it was like 90% female. Now it's like 70%, 70-30, and I think it's there's more opportunities on Pinterest every day. And Pinterest, the other thing was Pinterest, when it first started and where it's at now, is retaining and engaging users 3 times better than when Twitter first started. So that shows you how much Pinterest is really gaining steam and momentum. All right, so there's so many different things that you can do with Pinterest. Obviously, this is an example of food one, which are very popular there, that they've created kind of multiple pin boards, and they're sharing very visually appealing things for their online food community. But there's a number of different things that you can do right now to build a Pinterest platform. The first thing is, because they've come out with business accounts, you can go ahead and set up and convert to a business account, unless you're a public figure where you want to keep more of the personal account, or maybe your client's a coach and they feel they just keep it under their own brand. But if you have a company, definitely converting it or if your client does, converting them to a business account or setting them up. Integrating all the pinning plugins. And I'm not going to go through them all today, but there's a few really good ones on your blog so that your blog and Pinterest are one and they're integrated. And integrating Pinterest buttons with other social media platforms and vice versa with Twitter and Facebook. So there's a lot of sharing going back and forth, which is just increasing your audience and your reach. And then researching what your target audience is pinning. What do they like? What do what do they pin, what do they follow, and build those kind of boards. It's really simple. Marketing 101, find out what your audience wants and create pin boards based on that. All right, and then set up targeted boards that are relevant to your audience. And the other strategy is to start consistently pinning not just on one, but across a whole variety of boards in areas that would, again, be of interest to your audience. And then if you're a designer, or there's some cool tools out there where you can easily create textile photos or infographics, pinning those obviously are very, very popular, and they're shared like crazy right now. And then also following like-minded pinners and repinning their stuff. So you're building community. You're building a targeted audience with people in your industry or in your client's industry. Okay, so those are a few little quick tips or kind of a checklist for Pinterest. And the last one is to the tracking piece, because Pinterest is such an awesome traffic source right now. To be able to track your website and your blog traffic through Google Analytics, you'll begin to see, wow, how powerful of a platform Pinterest is. All right, and then finally, YouTube. YouTube is the largest search engine, second largest search engine in the world. It's definitely now more of a social network because of some of the big changes that they have made recently. It has 800 million unique visitors per month, and which is just staggering. The amount of the data on YouTube is phenomenal in terms of the reach. The first video in history a couple months ago or last month hit 1 billion views, which is that Gangnam Style. I'm sure you guys all have the dance down pat. I'm sure you've got it nailed. Feel free to submit your Gangnam Style video to our Facebook page, and I will gladly post it there. I won't hide it or delete it. So yeah, please go for it. You're all like, whatever. I'm not going to do that. That's in my my bathroom. I'm doing the Gangnam Style dance. And then, like I said, Mari Smith, she obviously well-known social media strategist, declared that 2013 is the year of the video. Last year was too, but certainly this is a big growth year as well. This is I love this guy, this Gideon Shalwick. Now YouTube's come out with the ability to create a partner channel, which gives us more latitude in terms of how we set it up. And so this looks almost like a website, doesn't it? The way it's designed, but this is his actual YouTube channel. So awesome branding opportunities for your clients. And not only that, but just being able to drive a lot of traffic to their site through video submission and sharing. So lots that can be done in that regard. And if you're not building a YouTube marketing platform for your business, you will miss your client or your client's business. They're missing out in a big, big way. And I can go on and on about that. But certainly some different a checklist that you can do for YouTube, setting up keyword targeted YouTube channel and profile, as well as subscribing to like-minded YouTube channels, which is so you're connected with others that might be interested in subscribing, so they have the same kind of audience as you do. Researching hot topics on YouTube or other forums in your marketplace, or in your market, I should say. And if possible, you might have an audience already where you can survey them, find out what their burning questions are, and create videos on it. They might send you back, these are the 10 most top questions I have on basket weaving. Each one of those is going to turn into a video. And that's a great, because you're hitting things that people need, right? And people are wondering about. Creating a fully optimized YouTube video and sharing it in key social networks so that it gets that maximum reach. And then setting up and sharing videos on other video sharing sites, whether it's Vidler or Vimeo or Rever or other ones like that, MetaCafe, as well as your own blog. Video blogging is a great strategy now, where you would go and you'd submit a video onto YouTube. Then you would take the embed code from that video, and you'd insert it right into your WordPress blog with a nice little summary. That's a great traffic strategy and a way to repurpose your content. So you've got a listing for your YouTube video, you've got a listing for your YouTube video blog. So lots and lots of different options there. And then tracking video results and trends as well. So, to kind of see what are the videos that are getting the most traction and things like that. All right, so that makes up your social media platform. And I just noticed, well, this is kind of ironic. I just noticed I missed Google+. I missed putting the slide in there for Google Plus. My apologies. Although, isn't that kind of funny? I think people in general forget Google Plus these days, although it should not be forgotten. So bad, Craig. I should not have forgotten Google Plus because it has lots of opportunities right now. But I think a lot of us are forgetting it because of all the other activities that we're doing in the existing social networks. So sorry for forgetting that, and you shouldn't forget it either. And it's definitely something to be on the radar big time in 2013. So a couple different things. As many of you know, we've been training in the social media space for 5 years. We've been doing this, I would say, as well as anybody for the last 5 years. And a lot of our clients that have taken our courses have gone on to build great businesses, and they've generated awesome income, and they're thriving, and they're having, many of them are having the career of their dreams because of this starting point that they got with us. And this is the advantage that we've always had, and we always will have, is that, very simply put, and this is not in an arrogant sort of way because that's not my style, but we know what your clients need. And you might be saying, Craig, how do you know what my clients need? You don't even know who my clients are. Well, the thing is, I come from a market where I'm connected with a ton of entrepreneurs and coaches. I've been in mastermind groups with a lot. I've written for internet marketing magazines. And so I work with a lot of people and connected to a lot of people that readily outsource all the time. And they are always keeping me in tune of what people are wanting and what they need, even in their social media platform. And so we're very much dialed in on that side, but also on the VA side through the surveys that we do with our own community. So that's always been an advantage we've brought is we can create courses and we can create training programs that are based on exactly what your clients need. Because you think of social media and you think of all the different type of training and all the different types of things we could teach you. But I think what we do well is we distill it down to exactly what your clients need. There's no sense in getting overwhelmed with every single tool you possibly could use in social media. Let us distill it down to the ones that actually work exceptionally well. And so we've been, again, thrilled at how what we've done with our training has impacted so many different people. And I was asking my wife, actually, we had to do something for our accountant, and or our accountant's a she, I should say. We're doing our year-end business financials, and we needed a column for refunds to see how much refunds. And I looked at that number. I'm like, is that the only amount of refunds we've had? I knew we had a good retention rate, but I didn't know that was as good as it was. And she said, yeah, you can actually look at it by course. And get this, since 2008, we've sold a gazillion social media training products. We've had 3 refunds in that period. And that's not to toot my own horn. That's just to say that I think we've tapped into what clients are looking for and what our students are looking for. And this is another example. This was a survey for one of our courses. This is only, I think, a snapshot. There's maybe 215 surveys, this is based on a list of about 217 people. But look at this. This is the survey to describe at the time they were taking the social media course. And you'll see that there was a 000 on the ones below in terms of our below average, or poor course. And I hold that. I mean, that means a heck of a lot to me because it means, man, we're doing something right. I've done a lot of things wrong in business, but the one thing I've done right is we've created awesome social media training courses and that have really impacted our clients' lives. And just for time purposes, I was actually going to bring on, and Anna, I know if you're listening, I'm going to have to cut it short just because of our time here, and I got a little long-winded. So I was going to bring on she's more affectionately known as Hurricane Anna, who is a social media queen, if you want to call her a diva, I guess would be one of her domain names. And she was one of, I wish I had time to bring her on and have her talk a little bit, but she was one of she took our courses early on and she really got it right off the bat. And she took it and built an awesome platform for herself. And she's in Silicon Valley right now and just, doing extremely well. And she has, attributed a lot of her success to, and obviously to her own efforts. It's all her, but that we really helped her along on that journey. And show another page. This is her Twitter page. And she's done 70,000 tweets. I mean, that's amazing, Anna. And again, apologize for cutting you out due to time purposes. But and she's got like 19,000 followers. So she's got a big, massive following. She's a prolific tweeter, and she actually mentioned to me, you know, there's a course that's about $6,000 from the University of San Francisco. That's like this social media course. And she said, you know, when she took our program, she says, your course is actually better than that. And then my response was, does that mean we should be charging more money for our course then? Tongue in cheek, of course. I want to make it cost effective, but that just really meant a lot, saying, wow, we've really nailed it in terms of quality and in terms of what our clients need and what our students want. And so thank you, Anna, for all your support. And, you know, you're definitely going to hear from Anna on one of our sessions in another time. So thank you. All right. Well, with that being said, I'd like to introduce to you, and we haven't done this for a long time, and I'm super excited about it, is our 2013 edition of our social media marketing course. We're going way back in 2010, I think, when we did our last one, and we had updated it a bit, but this one is an entirely brand new program that we're going to be running live for the first time with some self-directed components to it. So it is a brand new program, and you know, 100% new content, and an opportunity for you to if you're just starting. I know 50% of you in that early survey said that you weren't offering a social media service. Well, let me tell you, there is no better place than taking a course like this, because we have spent a lot of time figuring out and distilling down what are the information that your clients need, and what are the services and skills that they need, and we've thrown it into this program in a very systematic and fun and practical way. So this is our new program. So just to take a moment, I want to actually share an opportunity with you here in a moment. But first of all, for those of you that have taken our social media courses, one of the comments we often received was that you really took social media, and I didn't understand anything about it, and you really simplified it, and you made it practical, and you made it systematic, step by step by step. Well, I think we've taken it to a whole nother level in this course, and we've built all of our modules on this 3S system, this 3S model. And this is my own system that I've created. But so all the platforms that will teach you, whether it be Pinterest or Instagram or Google+, are built on creating the right strategy for your client, building in the right system so that they can effectively grow it, and so that you can effectively manage that platform. And then the third piece is services. How do I better position my service to better offer, the right kind of Google+ service, or YouTube service, or Facebook page service, or Pinterest service, or whatever it might be. So it's strategy, it's systems, and it's services. And so every module will be broken down. So you'll get the higher level strategy so that you can function as a strategist for your clients, but then you've got the system so you can be the implementer for your clients as well. So very, very critical. All right, so just a quick recap of what this program is all about, or a review, I should say. It's a 5-week training session. It's starting here shortly, and I'll give you a link here in a moment so you can go check out the whole opportunity. We'll be doing 2-hour sessions each week. So basically like 50 minutes and then a 10-minute break and then another 50 minutes. And we're going to be doing that once a week. And so for 5 weeks, and we're going to hit all the top platforms during that time. You're going to have membership in, get this, for those of you that have been around on VAClassroom for a while, you'll be stopped in your tracks, our private Facebook group. And so this is a first time we're actually creating a Facebook group. We've always used our Ning social network, but we thought, heck, if we're teaching in social media, we got to be in the best. We got to be in the largest social network. Our community has to be in there. So we're going to try that. We're going to experiment with that, having a private Facebook group. I think it'll totally enhance our engagement, since I know a lot of you hang out in Facebook a little bit. We're going to have a couple group coaching calls, which are live questions where you can answer myself or other experts on the call all those questions that you need answers to. We're going to have, as I said, this course is super practical. So there's going to be social media checklists like no other. I mean, you're going to be able to take Twitter and grab a checklist and run with it. Yes, listen to all the videos too, because they're going to rock, but the checklists are going to be worth the investment in itself. We're also introducing something new that we've never done, because we're doing this live. So there's about 10 hours of training over 5 weeks. We recognize that there's certain tools or there's certain nitty-gritty things that we're not going to be totally able to cover in those 2-hour sessions. So we're actually going to be having a tutorial library where there's going to be myself and a couple other experts are going to be putting in demos that are going to be added to that library. So you're going to have kind of the live sessions, as well as some demo style tutorials to support you as well. So we can make this the most well-rounded training experience that you've had. Obviously, unlimited access to our training materials like before. And of course, to kind of showcase your professional development, to show your clients that you are stepping up your game in the social media space, you will have a 2013 Social Media Marketing Certificate of Completion that you can use as a way to increase your own credibility of the services that you offer. Okay. So a quick breakdown of the modules. I won't go into too much detail because I'll just share the link with you and you can go have a look yourself. And I've actually prepared a 12-minute video for you. I've never done this before, but I share a personal story in there that changed my life. So for that very reason, you got to listen to the video. But in module 1, we're going to be talking about building that winning social media platform. So you got the right framework right from day 1 so you can help your clients be real successful. And then we're going to be talking about LinkedIn, success strategies first of all. And then in module 2, we'll spend a full couple hours on Twitter, on terrific Twitter tactics. I thought I'd throw some alliteration at y'all. Module 3 is fantastic Facebook strategies. And this will obviously cover pages and profiles and groups and events and all the latest changes that Facebook have made. So you're going to get a lot out of that session. And module 4 is building a powerful Pinterest presence. There you go. There's my alliteration, as well as the back half will be on Google Plus tips and tactics. And then module 5 is YouTube creation and traffic strategies, followed by building a winning social media service in 2013. So that was a real quick overview of the 5-module program that we're going to be running over the next few weeks here. And so one other thing that we're doing, and I want you to really take note of this, because this is really a great, I guess, value add-on to what we're already offering, is that we're going to be running a Facebook page creation blueprint. And so we're going to be covering Facebook pages in this social media course, but we're going to dive down into more of an advanced way. We're going to be going to more of the nitty-gritty and some more advanced tactics in the Facebook page creation blueprint course. And that'll be offered concurrently right after, I should say, this social media course. Okay, so that you're going to actually, by registering in this program and by taking this first intake here in 2013, you're going to get that for free. So that's going to be a part of, you'll have full access to that after you finish this course. You're going to be able to take that training and have, because that's such a hot service, we'll specialize a bit more in that. And so that will be a part of this full package as well. All right, so that's the offer for you. We're starting this program real soon. You can get all the dates and details by going to VAClassroom.com/social2013. So VAClassroom.com/social2013. You get the full 5-week social media marketing training program, which hits all the most popular 6 social media platforms out there. And also as a bonus add-on, you get the advanced Facebook page creation blueprint, which you're going to love. And that will be offered after this program as well. So, going back to Anna's comment, there are courses out there that are a few $1,000s for that don't match up to what we're offering here. And it's just, a very cost-effective offer. And we want to make it reasonable for you so that you can grab it, take it, hit the ground running, and offer a really great income building service for yourself here in 2013. So go ahead and check out VAClassroom.com/social2013. All right, there we go. So that's the offer. We're excited about it. I believe that social media training has always been our bread and butter. It's always been what we do best, and we've seen the most results for our clients. And so definitely carpe diem here, seize the day, take advantage of a really great opportunity for you and for your business. And that whether you're starting off or you're upgrading your skills, you'll find this very valuable. Now, quick comment for those of you that have taken a social media course from us before. You're probably wondering, well, what do you have for me, Craig? I've taken one of your programs before. Well, check your inbox. You should have received an email this morning. If you didn't receive it, go check your spam filter or filters. There is a special opportunity for those of you that have already taken our program before. Naturally, we want to offer you a refresher rate on this special package. So go ahead and check your inbox. It's there. And if it's not, just email our support team. Just go to one of our pages and hit support, and they'll give you more information on that as well. Okay, so that's for anyone that has taken the social media marketing training program in the past. But if you're new to it, then definitely you haven't taken one of our courses in the social media space, but you've maybe heard good things. That's the link right there, VAClassroom.com/social 2013. And yeah, definitely take the time to watch that 13-minute video. I think it's 12 or 13 minutes, because you'll kind of get my inspiration behind why I am so passionate about this market and this course, because of a personal story that happened to me back in 2008 that literally changed my life. And I think you'll find that hopefully interesting and even impactful. So go to VAClassroom.com/social 2013 and definitely check things out. Now I'm going to open it up to some questions at this point. If you have anything that you want to ask, this would be the time. All right. Okay, great. I see a bunch of you just have gone already signed up, so that's awesome. Good on you. And a lot of you might have again developed your skills a lot in the social media space, and maybe saying, is this for me? Go check out the offer, and obviously, if you've taken a course from us, you'll have it at a refresher rate, and it's just a great opportunity to upgrade your skills. And we've made it super cost effective for you to do that, and we really want to emphasize this at the beginning of the year, because when I put out surveys where I see that social media service is still the hottest, I want to make sure that you all have the most current skills, and that so your clients, when they finally say to you, okay, let's hit the ground running with Pinterest, you can go and say, yeah, let me grab my checklist from VA Classroom and let's do it. Like seriously, that's how easy it can be. And so we're here for you, and I look forward to connecting with you in a Facebook group. This is going to be a new feel. You can give me feedback on whether you like it. I know many of you like using Facebook, so we'll see how our Facebook group is in terms of maximizing our engagement and our interaction. So, all right, good. Yeah, and for those of you that are premium members as well, good question, Robin. Look for an email shortly as well in terms of like a discount for you that will be made available. So if you are a premium member, definitely look for an email here in this afternoon, or if it's the evening for you, and there'll be some information for you on that as well. All right, see a bunch of questions having here. Do I have to know how to use Facebook, Twitter before you take this course? Great question, Claire. This isn't an advanced course. It's something, again, what I said earlier, what we do really well over most training platforms that do teach social media is that we distill down to exactly what you need for your client. So whether you're further along or you're at the beginning, you're going to receive exactly what your clients are looking for, the types of skills that they need, the types of services. And if you haven't taken a course from us before, you'll know that I'm a student of learning. I've studied learning for so long, and my mission is always to create the courses super practical and easy to follow. Even if we're looking at higher level topics that seem a little bit more complicated, it will be explained in a way that's systematic and step by step. So even if it's a bit of a challenge for you, you'll get it in a way that's palatable and easy to follow. Okay. All right. So some other questions coming in here. All right. Yeah, again, another question is this course valuable for an absolute beginner in social media? 100% valuable, and it's created in a way that will upgrade certain people's skills, and it will give other people a starting point who are just beginning at social media, because you're going to leave with a really good idea of how to utilize the top platforms that are being used on the net right now in the social media space. So you'll leave with a really well-rounded overview. Okay, another one we're saying that they didn't get an email from us regarding the refresher rate. Definitely connect with our support team. If you didn't receive an email, connect with us and we'll get that information to you. Okay, and definitely check your spam filters if it ended up showing them in there as well. Okay, someone else was saying that they can't find site VAClassroom.com/social 2013. Let me I know some of you have already signed up. Whoops, I don't want to leave the webinar. Hold on a second here. I'm just going there. I tried it a gazillion times before I went on here. There it is. Yeah, so it is there. VAClassroom.com. So www.vaclassroom.com/social2013. So it should work for you, and it redirects to this one here. But that don't put at the end of the social 2013. Definitely don't put a backslash. Just put / or I should say / social 2013. Okay, and it should come to a page like this. You got this video. I definitely watched that video. It's an interesting one for sure. It's as personal as I've ever gotten, and I think hopefully it'll impact you. So, okay, will the social media course teach infographics? Well, it's not a design course. We have another course, a web design course, that teaches you about how to design graphics. But what we will do is we will show you a couple tools that are being used right now that make it very easy to create your own infographics, so you don't actually have to hire a designer. So we're going to give you the tools so you can do it yourself, but there won't be like a 101 on, this is how an infographic should be set up. But the tools will be in place for you to do it. All right, will you be discussing other tools than Hootsuite, such as Social Sprout? We have a couple in mind that we're going to look at. Social Sprout is on our radar, but I guess you can give me a good case as to why I think it might be better than Hootsuite. We look at a lot of what our clients are using, or our students are using, what their clients are using, and obviously we will train based on what are the most popular platforms as well. Okay, so for the people that are working full time, are there classes at set times after working hours? So unfortunately, they're not, Lillian. Depending on where you are in the world, if you're in the UK, then it's a perfect time. It's more like 8 p.m. at night. If you're down under, it's early in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. But if you're working anywhere in the North America, then it'll be during the day at like noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. But in saying that, all of our program is all professionally recorded. So even though you may not be able to attend the live sessions, you will have all the video recordings for it. And then you'll be able to post all the questions that you have in the Facebook group. So you're not going to miss a beat. Obviously, it'd be great for you to be there during the live sessions. But in terms of getting the content that you need to do something with this, it won't hurt you in any way. Okay. So Beatrice, you just said, let me go to send you another link here. I'll give you the actual direct link if you're not able to find it. And I know there's a couple other questions, others that I have. I'll get to your questions in just a moment. So thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, so, all right, Beatrice, if you look in I sent you a private message with the link, and it's the one up here as well, VAClassroom.com/social-media-marketing-training. We've had a good size audience on here, but I don't think we crashed our server or anything. So it looks like it's there. So, okay, yeah, and someone else said it worked fine for me. Okay, times and dates for the live sessions. Like I said, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. They will go a total of 2 hours. That might seem like a long session, but I'll break it up. I believe in the 50-10 principle. So we go for 50, we take 10, we go for 50, and we finish with a Q&A. Or we have 2 Q&As as well. Yeah, so Trudy, I just saw your email regarding an agency that might potentially fund your course. Yeah, you should definitely be getting a response from us. If you don't, definitely email VAClassroomsupport@gmail.com or Facebook me through our facebook.com/VAClassroom. It's another way to connect with us, or go to our support page. Our support page was being finicky for a little while. It's all fixed. Everything's good. So if you go to support at the top of any one of our pages, you'll get a prompt response back as well. And Robin, if you're not finding that email, you can definitely go, and I will actually send you the direct link right now. And no, Refresher and Premium is not something that can be combined. Refresher is definitely the way to go for you. But let me just see here. All right, so I'm just giving you a link privately in there that you can check out at your own time. All right, let me know if you have any issues with that as well. Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Anna, I should say. Yeah, yeah, we'll hook up. I definitely want to bring you in on we've already talked about a couple different things, but people need to hear from you because you've got such a an awesome personality and you've got so many skills to share. So yeah, we're gonna talk more. All right, good questions coming in here. Okay, so yeah, I've been using, as an aside, I've been using one shopping cart for a long time, and as of late, I've been finding, because a couple of you are saying you didn't get the email, and I'm sending it to you as well, Sharon, with that refresher link. But yeah, I'm finding their deliverability is not as strong as it used to be. Teresa and I are going to talk about this. I've been looking at tools, even like Office Autopilot, which is really, really cool platform right now. That's kind of vying for or competing against Infusionsoft, and so apparently it rocks. So hopefully hopefully if you didn't get the email, definitely check your spam filter. Okay, awesome. Robin said she got the right email. Question on certification: should I be certified to appear credible, and do I have any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions for training for virtual assistant certification? Great question. Great question. Certification is important, but not, what's the word? It's important, but not critical, if that makes sense. And let me explain. We have certifications programs, and for this one, we're not doing a lot of formal assignments. You'll receive a certificate of completion to kind of showcase your professional development. But it's not like a full-fledged graded program like others you may take. You know what? The reality is, in this marketplace, we currently are in what I call a skill-based economy. So your clients need to know that you have the skills to do it. And what we've always focused on at VA Classroom is giving you the skills your clients need. So if you have the skills and you can demonstrate it by showing them the different courses you've taken, that suffices, as opposed to saying, because the VA space is still relatively new, even though it's been around for a decade or more, that people aren't saying, have you taken this program from such and such, other than the fact that we have obviously built up a really good brand in the community. And so people, a lot of employers have sent their VAs and contract or entrepreneurs have sent their VAs for training here just because we have such a solid reputation. But so certification is good, but not critical. There's many here that never got certified, and I think Anna can probably speak to that. She just developed a lot of the skills and took the ball and ran from there. So yeah, not essential. This is a non-related question. Oh, I should get back to my presentation so you can all see the link if you're still wondering where we are. So VAClassroom.com/social2013. Lillian says, I have a great PC, but should I get a Mac? I'm considering getting a Mac. Yeah, that might not be totally related to what we're talking about, but I will give you my advice that I moved to a Mac world. I have an iPhone and a Mac. I have a tablet. I don't have an iPad. That's the only thing I don't have. But and I've never looked back in terms of ease of use. And I shoot a lot of video, and it's obviously ideal for multimedia stuff. So I love the simplicity of the Mac and would never go back. But and that rhymes. I certainly think it's great for us in this space to be using Mac technology. Another comment from me. My friend runs the one shopping cart email server, and they've been having problems. They've been bought out by another company. It doesn't want to seem to play ball. I definitely look elsewhere. Good to know. Yeah, that's the worst thing we'd ever want to happen. Our email platform is so important to us. So good. Well, thanks for that feedback, Amy. All right. Well, hey, thanks for sticking around. And I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going to start to wind down our time today. Yes. So Claire's asking, is there a refresher rate or a different price for people that have taken the course before? Definitely. And we obviously are, fairness and integrity is like core values of our business. And so when people have taken training from us before and they've taken social media, other editions of the program, we've always been diligent to offer refresher rates. So if you take this program at the full price and we release a new one, which we inevitably will as social media changes in the next year or two, or even sooner, you will always receive it at a discounted rate. So that's just we found that to be the most fair, the best way to handle it, and I think people really like that as well. Okay, cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks for everyone for listening in today and for staying a little bit longer. Hope you found the session helpful. At the very least, I hope you could take a lot of those checklists, and I'll have a video recording for you, and take those checklists and apply them to maybe some of the work that you're currently doing as well. So I'm really excited about this program. You can definitely go to VAClassroom.com//social 2013, and we pretty much guarantee you will have an awesome training experience and be really impacted by like a lot of the other people have in our space as well. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of the day, and we will see you very soon. Take care.